Let's start a little bit early. I don't know if anybody's here. It's nope, nobody's here. That's okay though. I started it early. So if you're watching this on rewind or replay or whatever it's called, now we've got some people in here. Thanks for joining early. I appreciate it, you guys. I have 3 special guests, and they're each going to join one at a time. It's probably for, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes each. And we'll go for 90 minutes-ish, if you're up for it. Andrew. Andrew is commenting MVP. Dan is my worst nightmare. Andrew, I appreciate all your comments, not only on my channel, but I know I'm going to go over to another channel and you're going to comment there too. Mikey G, you're a Yankees fan. We got a lot of mics here. Jeez. Ruben, I haven't seen you around here in a while. It's good to see you, my friend. Yeah, Mookie's great. The Pinhole King. Orlando, Jacob, Ryan, the history legend. I always learn something from Ryan McClanahan. Commenting Hall of Famer, yes. Mikey G is too, even though he's a Yankees fan. What's up, Lou Rock? Jake. Man, getting some good ones in here today. My first guest is going to be Jim Faulkner, another Hall of Fame commenter who is now a YouTuber. So I'm excited about that. He's not here yet. I told him a little after 7, so we'll get started. George, Brent, oh man, all these legendary commenters. How cold is it? I don't know. I didn't step outside once today. My wife went out and got the mail. Jim is here. We're going to give Jim a minute. It is 10 degrees where I am in Maine. It is cold. It is cold. But I know it's snowing elsewhere around the country, right? Like places are canceling school already for tomorrow. We're not getting any snow. We're due to get like a foot next weekend. Lonely Basement baseball cards. That's new. Thanks for joining. Let's bring in Jim Faulkner. How's that sound? Jim.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing okay. This is my first live stream, so I'm pretty excited.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if you were listening, you are a legendary commenter, always great comments for years. And then you started your channel this year, right?
Yes, sir. I sure did.
2024.
Yeah, right after the National when I got back. Yes.
That's right. That's right. You introduced Mike Moynihan introduced us at the National, right?
Yes. Yeah,
I was so excited to meet you.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to meet you guys. So
yeah,
definitely, talking to you and Mike, baseball collector, and Chris and Sammy Thunder and all that, and Jason, I thought, you know what, I'll give it a try and see how it works out. So it's been fun.
Yeah, it is a great group. And a lot of them are commenting here tonight. Orlando, Lou Rock, CRT Sports Cards is also new. I'll have him on in the live stream at some point. I watched his re-welcome yesterday back to YouTube, and I think he's going to be a good one. So talk a little about your collection, because you have a pretty unique collection. Who are the 2 guys you mostly collect?
I collect Nolan Ryan is my number 1 guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And I collect Ryan Mountcastle also. So
yeah.
And yeah. I got one of his autograph cards over here in one of my boxes also. So
yeah.
I wanted to collect a current player or 2, so I try to, and I collect Nolan Arenado also. So
okay.
Yeah.
They're very interesting.
Yeah. I've been collecting Nolan Ryan for a long time, on and off over the years, and started back in the early to mid 70s, give or take. And I wrote him a letter to the Angels back in like 1974, and I got a postcard. It's facsimile autograph, but it's kind of cool. I've had it for 50 years. So
oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty neat.
That's great.
And I've got a lot of Nolan Ryan stuff. The people that have seen the channel know I have quite a collection of Nolan Ryan memorabilia. So
yeah. Speaking of your channel, let's just show it for a second here. First of all, we got a lot of weather in the comments. It's 22 in Pittsburgh. It's 10 degrees where I am in Maine. Ice storm in Tennessee, which seems crazy to me. I've been to Tennessee. I don't remember it being cold enough for that. You're in
I'm
Virginia.
in Northern Virginia.
How's the weather?
It's about 20 degrees, 25 degrees, and it's cold, and we're due for a storm overnight. So,
And that you don't usually get 25 degrees, right?
well, we do. We get cold in the wintertime, and snow can be anywhere from like 5 or 6 inches up to a foot or two. Just depends. Last year we got no snow.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. We in Maine used to get a ton of snow, a lot of storms. And now over the last like 10 years or so, it seems like we get fewer storms and the storms are smaller. And it used to be pretty overwhelming to all the snow. We just get so many storms and up to 2 feet in some storms frequently. And now just I think I bought a brand new snowblower last winter, took it out of the garage maybe 4 times all winter, which is great. I don't like snow, so I was happy.
Yeah, either do I.
So, let me just show your channel for anybody who isn't familiar with you.
Sure.
There you are.
Yep.
You get great color, by the way, in your room. I love the.
I changed out the lights this afternoon too to make them a little brighter. So
Nice. I love the color. It's very eye-catching.
and that's my Orioles orange wall behind me. So yeah, so that's
Nice.
kind of cool. And I'm going to thank my wife. She came up with the design for that baseball. I told her what I wanted, and she created it for me. So that's pretty cool.
For the the logo.
5714 baseball, the 5714 collector.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love
she
it.
did all the software part of that.
Yeah, that's great. George says he loves Mountcastle. Current favorite player. Wow.
Yeah, he's my favorite current player also.
Awesome. Is Mullins still on the Orioles?
Yes, he
I know
is.
he's a big fan favorite.
Yes, he is. Yep. He's the starting center fielder.
Okay. All right. They gave up Burns though.
Yeah, they lost him to the Diamondbacks in 6 years and $210 million.
I feel like that's not a bad move though, because his strikeout rate was declining fast.
Yeah, it definitely dropped. Yes, they had a good year for the Orioles, except for the month of August. But yeah, he had a good season, 15 wins. But is he worth $35 million a year for 6 years? Across the board.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's okay.
Are you a football fan, Jim?
No, my wife's upstairs watching the football game and watching this video right now. But
Oh.
I am not. I'm just a huge baseball fan. So,
Yeah,
and a huge Orioles fan. So.
My Patriots couldn't win a game all year, but somehow beat Buffalo to lose the first pick in the draft.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, if they had just lost, they.
Okay.
This is my friend Jason, who has never collected a sports card in his life, but he watches my show to help him fall asleep at night.
Well, you're clearing the bases on Sunday is pretty awesome. I watch all your videos because your timing's good. You do 15 to 30-minute videos, and after about 30 minutes, that's it's a long time. It is.
Yes. Thank you. I know they're popular, and especially in the vintage community. The long videos are very, very popular. And I've got Dan up here. Dan and I just did a 57-minute video this morning. It's fantastic because I'm in it, of course.
I'll be watching that after this, I promise. So I watch Dan's channel too. So
Dan's great, but I don't have that much time to watch long videos. So I love, the 8 to 20-ish minutes is right up my alley. And you do that. Your content is short, as we're seeing here. Let me go back here.
Yeah.
10 minutes, 11 minutes, 3 minutes, 18.
Yeah.
They're.
I have not hit 20 minutes on a video yet, but I'll have to try to do that. But I have not. I try to keep them short. I show a lot of my Ryan collection. I did one this morning that I had some hiccups from a card show from yesterday. So, so I got my next one ready to go for Wednesday. I got them over here already. So,
Do you want to give us any spoilers?
I'm just showing some oddball Ryan cards that I have, and I've had them for a long time. And I have so many different Ryan cards. I I've got well over 1,000 different Nolan Ryan cards in my collection. So
That I would call that a super collector.
it's I'm pretty close because I have a lot of his magazines. I got books. I've got pennants. You know, I got baseballs autographed. I've got bobbleheads, cups. You know, a little bit of everything. And you know, just been doing it for a while.
Do you have anything you want to show?
Well, I do want to say one thing, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mentioned it on my channel. I'm reading this Kramer's Choice.
Oh yeah, Mike Kramer's great.
Yeah, Pacific Trading Cards,
Yep.
and so I didn't really prep anything to show. I'd have to get some, my tackling dummy. I'll have one of those. So
That's great.
It's right behind me, and I got a bunch of starting lineups and stuff like that. So I've just been doing it for really the mid '90s. I really picked up on the Ryan thing, and because I knew he was going into the Hall of Fame. So you know, I would buy cards, anything that had Nolan on it, I would pick it up. It was, you know, $1 to $100. I said, oh, I'll just go buy it. And so I wound up with the room down here is 12 by 13 and it's bursting at the seams.
Yeah.
And you know, I did a video of the room, and it's like, yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here. So, but I used to collect sets. Now I'm more just the singles. I do pick up the top set as it comes out each year. I get one of them. So
yeah. So you've been collecting for 50 plus years?
I've been collecting probably the late 60s. And so, yeah. And, you know, I've sold cards. I've had my cards thrown out by my mom. You know, I went through all that. And so, but eventually I just started to settle on Nolan Ryan because it was just easier to collect one player than trying to do a Hall of Fame. I see a lot of people doing Hall of Fame runs, and I think, oh, that is so cool. But it's like, yeah, it's easier just to do one player sometimes. And
yes.
And I will pick up, you know, some mid 60 cards of players I like. So
yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to picture 12 by 13 because I'm hoping to move into a room that's currently taken in our house, hopefully later this year, where I have an office, and I'm guessing it's smaller than 12 by, but it's probably right around that size.
Okay. Yeah. When we bought this house back in late 11 and moved in, my wife said, hey, you can have the room down in the basement. You know, it's closed in, there's, you know, doors, and there was no carpet. So, you know, I went and, you know, picked out the carpet I wanted, painted the walls, and then just started bringing the stuff in. And so now it's just blowing up all over the place. So
yeah, I love it. Am I remembering correctly? You did a room tour at one point a month or two ago, right?
Yes, I did. I did.
Love that.
Yeah. And,
I'm a sucker for a room tour.
Yeah, it got a lot of views. Also, the SGC reveals and the room tour got a lot of views and all that. So a lot of people must like them, and it's fun to see how people set up their collections on all that, how they do it. You know?
Absolutely, and what people choose to put on walls and on shelves and things like that.
Yeah.
I get a lot of ideas from it. I don't think there's such a thing as a bad hobby room setup.
Right. And the Oriole wall behind me, I have 2 Memorial Stadium seats behind me.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, from '99 or 2000 when they, you know, were doing the sale and all that. So I went out and picked up 2 of those. And I can remember when I was a teenager, I remember telling my dad, I said, you know, if they ever close Memorial Stadium or tear it down, I'm going to get me a couple of those stadium seats. I want a pair. And so when I found out about it, I said, I've got to go get them. So
yeah, I would love to have a Fenway Park seat.
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
I feel like somebody showed me a Fenway Park seat recently.
Okay.
I don't remember.
That would be something pretty cool to have in your collection if you can get them. You know?
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
Yep.
Warren asked me, why is his name green and a character after, and Ruben has the answer right here. So I'm just putting that up. Channel member. Look at, oh man, John Keating trying to one up you.
Yeah, I'm working on writing them all down in pen in a book, and I'm up to over 700. So I've got, you know, several more years in front of me to write down and all that. So I will announce that, and even then, you don't have every card counted because it got cards in magazines, so they would count too, right? You would count them if
Absolutely.
they're in the magazine.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it takes time and all that. So
Yep.
what's the rarest or most difficult Nolan Ryan card in your collection? Ooh, that's a tough question. I'd have to think about that. Difficult? Well, I just picked up the 75-0 SFPC number 10, and I rarely see that card for sale on eBay. I did see one recently, but I picked that up and it's over here. Let me grab it real quick.
Sure.
It's right on my table. Yeah, I picked this up yesterday at the show. So,
Yep.
and that's not an easy card. A couple people on the on YouTube I've seen it on a couple channels and all that, and I said, "Oh, I don't have that card." But the rarest piece I have, or the rarest one, would be that postcard from the Angels from '74. There's not probably too many of them around that's lasted. That's people have from 50 years ago. Because you send away for something like that, you put it in a scrapbook, and that scrapbook got thrown away and all that. But that's come with me the whole time. So I've had it. Probably the longest thing I've had in my collection.
That's great.
For that postcard. So, and I don't know how rare it is, but it's it's got some age on it at least. So
Yeah.
And the coolest thing I have is I have the Hall of Fame bat when I went up to the '99 Hall of Fame induction and stood in line for 18 hours to get that bat. So
Wow.
I was up there with a buddy of mine, George, and we were in the line in lawn chairs for 18 hours overnight to make sure we got the ticket so we could purchase that bat. So
Wow.
yeah. So that's one of my favorite pieces too. So
that's awesome. George asks, "What's your favorite Brooks Robinson piece?"
Well, I have an autographed bat that I got autographed in Cleveland. It's a big stick bat, and it's in my bat case here, and it has Brooks's autograph on it. Probably my favorite piece from him. And it's I've got a lot of Brooks Robinson autographs, but the baseball bat's probably one of my favorite pieces and all that.
That's
So
cool. I don't have a single autographed bat or ball.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that. So
yeah, that's just not. I don't really have a lot of interest in them. I like seeing them in other people's collections, but it's just not something that I would ever intentionally buy.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, maybe 15 autographed baseballs, maybe something like that. So
that's cool.
Yeah. And the coolest one I have, I met Carl Erskine, one of them bums from the Boys of Summer, the card show, like, oh God, it's probably been 10, 12 years ago in Chantilly. And I always wanted to meet somebody that played for the Dodgers and played with Jackie Robinson. So I got the chance to ask him, how was it? What was it like to play with Jackie? Because, I mean, it's history. And I love baseball history too. And he said Jackie was just one of the greatest players, greatest people that he ever got to play with. And I thought that was pretty awesome. So
love hearing that.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite memories. So
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look through, find any other comments for you.
I can see the comments too. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good system here.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than I expected. So
yeah, good. I have the George Brett from that set. I figured 1975 is kind of a rookie card.
It is his rookie card. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I picked up Frank Robinson in that set also yesterday, and Steve Carlton. So that's it's kind of neat. I think I'm going to go out and buy the whole set. Can we agree that Brooks was the second greatest third baseman ever? I'll agree with that as long as we agree that he's the greatest defensive third baseman ever.
Yeah.
I saw Brooks play quite a bit at Memorial Stadium over the years when I was, growing up. My parents would take us to a game and go with friends or something. And to see him in person, I'd say, yeah, Brooks is number one defensively at third. I can agree with number two for the greatest ever. I'm wondering who's number one. I'm going to say they're going to say Mike Schmidt.
That's right. John Keating is a massive Phillies fan, and so there's no doubt he's talking about Michael Schmidt.
Yeah.
Michael Jack Schmidt. John sharing his age here.
It's funny.
These guys. Brooks Robinson's 58 tops card.
Yes.
It's really bad. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not a good picture. I got that card graded. Like it came back at a 4.5 or something. And the 71 tops is not a beautiful card either. No.
I'm trying to picture the 71. I don't remember it.
It's him swinging through.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the favorite player I met Nolan Ryan. So Nolan Ryan and let me say Nolan Ryan and Brooks Robinson. So I would say both of them. I've met them in person. So and Brooks more than once because obviously I'm born in Baltimore and I grew up in the suburbs. So Brooks would make appearances around the area, Glen Burnie, where I lived at, and I'd run up there with something. Hey Brooks, can you autograph this? So I've met him several times, and I met Nolan once at a card show late '98 up in New Jersey. And it's the King of Kings show in New Jersey. And there's a little article in Sports Collectors Digest. They interviewed me, and there's a little article in me about me coming up there to get Nolan's autograph. So
awesome. Great. Jim, you have an amazing knowledge of baseball history. I love listening to you talk. This Jay, average vintage collector, asks if you're a Boog Powell fan.
Yep. I like Boog Powell too. He was a very, very good third baseman for the Orioles. And Boog always said that he made Brooks Robinson the all-star Gold Glove fielder that he was because he was digging the balls out of the dirt coming in.
Sure.
And all that. So
Keating talking a lot of trash in the comments here.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Well, Brooks did play on AstroTurf because he did play on AstroTurf in Riverfront Stadium in the '70 World Series. So, yeah. And I believe, correct, 70 show, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't the play that came down the third baseline with Lee May running to first when that done at Riverfront and Brooks threw out Lee May by a step? No, I think that was in Riverfront Stadium. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
Jim, coming hard here. I love it.
Oh, this is fun. I'm enjoying this.
I think you're gaining some subscribers here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's okay. Everybody's got an opinion. I like that, so.
Even though they're wrong.
I don't think Schmidt was better with the glove or the arm than Brooksy, so. Certainly not the glove part, so. Yeah, Dan's right. Statistically speaking, Brooks by far is the best fielding third baseman ever. So these guys are funny to but yeah. I mean, can I show you one thing too, Mike, real quick?
I'd love for you to. Yeah, we've got Frank has just joined and he's setting up. So we'll keep him.
This is from the.
Hang on, let me put you so low. Whoops, that's me. Haha. Okay. I don't want to do that. Hang on, just one sec.
Oh, yeah, take your time.
Solo. There we go. Go ahead.
There it is. Make sure I do that right. That's a National Bow plastic plate, and it's got the backing on it still. I picked this up in Chantilly.
Wow.
Yeah, I picked that up. I got it for I think $25. The guy I think he just wanted to sell it. And the Budweiser mirror behind me is the first pitch from Oriole Park. So I got that in Chantilly too. So I almost bypassed it. And I went back to the table and I said, let me just buy it right now. I gave the guy $45 for the mirror. I said, I got to have it. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I love my Oriole wall and all that behind me. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that stuff.
Yeah. It's different. I've never seen anybody else have a channel where the wall was painted a certain color to feature the team. So
yeah. I'd love to have a Fenway green monster wall. I've seen some people do that. I'm not creative enough.
That would be cool looking though. That would be pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Now we're going to talk about the MVP for 1970.
Dan
did have a good year that year. So
Dan is a huge Yaz super collector.
Okay. That's cool. Oh, Schmidt would have tagged me out. Oh, that is funny. That's okay. Oh, Craig's still in here from Midlife Sports Card. Hey, Craig. Group take the Vegas. Jim tells us. Sounds like fun. I love Vegas, so that would be fun. So, hey, Mike, are you going to Strongsville?
I'm a 90% no on that. It's a 12-hour drive for me. I'm definitely not going to fly. If I could figure out something like my 15-year-old loves to do road trips, so I could and my wife, any road trip is up for it. So I could see potentially going on a road trip, but it's in the middle of school. I don't think I'll be there. I'll be at the National though. You still there? Did we lose Jim? I think we lost Jim. Everybody go subscribe to Jim. 5714 Collector. I'm going to put his channel in the chat. Boom. Jim is AI and he froze up. Whoops. Yeah, there it is. Somebody mentioned Vegas and Jim froze. Speaking of Hall of Fame commenters, Doug, good to see you. Mookie Chilson. Mookie left his own video to come here. Everybody go subscribe to Jim. Jim's awesome. Super nice guy, and obviously he knows his baseball history. You go toe to toe with Keating. All right, let's. I guess I've got Frank here. Let's bring Frank on. Frank.
Hey now.
Hey now.
This is an honor, I gotta say. Really an honor.
Oh, hang on. Jim is back, but he's got to connect his mic and camera. He just got disconnected from us. I'm honored to have you. You are the Hall of Fame autograph guru. Just an absolute. Hey, look at this. Already. Hey, it's the autographs guy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember meeting me?
Which time?
The first time at the National 2 years ago.
So I'll tell you a quick story. Yeah, of course I remember. It was yes and no. So Mike stopped us.
Yep.
And like, you got to be on this guy's channel. And honestly, I would know Jeff Rosenberg, and Jeff Rosenberg was trying to navigate me around the National at that time. And as important as you are, with all due respect,
no, I'm not.
Jeff Rosenberg needed me to be somewhere at a specific time. And I'm like, I'll get back to you. I don't know who you are, but I'll get back to you. So Mike's like, you got to meet this guy. I'm like, Moynihan. And so we didn't really connect, and I felt really bad. I really did. And
you were very polite.
Yeah, what's that?
You were very polite about it.
No, I was not. No, I was not.
Oh, I felt you were.
I thought I was not. So it's just like, I have a one-track mind. But then I met you again last year in Cleveland, and the YouTube, I had my son with me, and the YouTube party was insane. Insane last year.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Moynihan kills it with those.
Yeah. So yes, I remember meeting you both times. And then I was in Maine. I tried to hook up with you, but that didn't work. Obviously, it didn't work. So
yeah,
it's fine. You stood me up.
Did I? I don't remember.
It's all good. It's all good. See, you don't remember now, so
I remember you emailing me.
Yes, autograph is fake. I wanted to see the autograph. I did ask to see the autograph.
All right, I'll share my.
Not right now. I'm on my iPhone, so I can't tell you right now. I need to look at it up close.
I'll email it to you.
That's
I
good.
just took a picture of it right now. I'm going to bring Jim back on just to.
I don't have his knowledge generally, especially about the Orioles, so I apologize.
Hold tight.
Okay.
Jim.
Hey, sorry about that. I lost my signal.
No worries, Jim. I just bringing on Frank anyway, so it's good timing. But I wanted to say
hello,
Frank, Hall of Fame autograph, baseball Hall of Fame autographs. Jim Faulkner.
There you are.
Meet each other. Say hi.
Jim. It's a pleasure to meet you.
You too, Frank. I just started subscribing to your channel, so I'll be.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep.
So, Jim, thank you. I really appreciate it. I am honored that you came on my channel. This was your first live stream.
Yes, sir. I was very excited this afternoon about doing this. So
good.
I really appreciate it, Mike.
Yeah, my pleasure. I shared your link in the comments, but throw a couple comments in there so other people still have a chance to click in and subscribe too.
I will do that. I'll be watching the rest of the live stream. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, Jim. Have a great night and stay warm.
Yep. We'll do. Thanks again, Mike.
Thanks. Bye.
Nice to meet you, Frank, and we'll
Take
talk
care.
soon. Take care.
So you're in Detroit, right?
I am in Detroit.
How's the weather there?
Cold, but not
Yeah.
snow.
Yeah, same here. 10
We
degrees,
have a
no snow.
big football game, so I want to. No matter what happens at 8:15, I have to get out of here.
Yeah.
So
I'll kick you out before then.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Detroit's pretty good. I mean,
In what
the
regard?
football team, not the
Oh
city.
yeah, yes.
They're are they gonna win this year?
I hope so.
Yeah. I'm rooting for them.
Thank
It's a
you.
great story. I really enjoy them a lot, and I was rooting for them last year too.
In all fairness, I'm a complete bandwagon fan. I love my Tigers. I love baseballs. Anyone who's watched my channel knows I am complete bandwagon though when it comes to the Lions.
Yeah. So tell people who aren't familiar with you who you are and what you do.
My name is Frank Reinstein. I am a CPA by trade, and I collect. I'm not a seller. I am a collector of baseball Hall of Fame autographs. And my goal is to get I want to get the number 348 baseball Hall of Famers. And I'm currently and I've been stuck at 298. So I'm missing 50 more baseball Hall of Famers. And in my spare time, a couple of things I do for YouTube is close to 4 years ago now. It's kind of scary. I realized there's no real resource out there for people. There's a lot of fakes now, which you can watch my channel, but there's no real resource out there in the YouTube community to kind of educate you what to look for when buying, especially Hall of Fame autographs, baseball Hall of Fame autographs. So I made it my mission, my quest to go through all 348 baseball Hall of Famers, and I'm doing alphabetical order, and I just dropped Nap Lajoie today into the hall until my did a video today of Nap Lajoie. So I'm about halfway done. I imagine this is gonna be a 10-year project. I never thought it would take me this long, but I'd rather get it right and spend time and get it right to help everybody I can.
Oops, I accidentally just
Okay.
removed you, but
I'm in the
back.
show. Yay.
You're back. Yeah,
Yes.
I meant to remove your channel, and now you're back.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, your channel it blows me away. When I first saw your videos 2 years ago, I was like, this dude knows everything. And your room walkthrough, your basement walkthrough, right? It's been 2 years since I watched it, but it's is it a basement where you keep everything?
Everything's in a it's in a temperature controlled basement. I am very, hope I can use the word anal. Hope there's no kids on there. I'm very anal, but like all the lights up here are all specific frequency. All the autographs right here. I pay a specific framer. I'm going to, their name is Second Story, that are out of Ferndale, Michigan. I get no money from them, but they are the best. They do Max Scherzer, they do Jack Morris, they do all the local sports teams. So each one of these is about, believe it or not, close to $100, but it's behind museum glass. Because I realized I had all these autographs, but I couldn't look at them. I couldn't enjoy them. Yes. No, not legally. I couldn't enjoy them, so I actually paid my framer. They came to my house. I had a real bad frame job originally, and they came and they hung everything. And so when the people come down here, granted, not many people have come down here outside my family. I come down here, I get an appreciation for everything that you can look. I have a lot of famous Hall of Famers. I'm just looking around here, like Roberto Clemente, Ty Cobb. And then I have the obscure Hall of Famers, Ernie Lombardi, Chuck Klein, Elmer Flick. I'm a big believer that once you're in the all Hall of Famers are equal, all 348 of them.
Except
So,
Jack Morris.
Yeah, that card is fake, by the way. It's really fake. You're Diamond King.
I love the autograph analyses from this guy. I'm telling you, I watch your videos. I haven't even heard of a dozen of the Hall of Famers that you've done videos on, and I watch. I'm like, man, I learn so much from them.
Yeah, and it's funny that you're like, bring some autographs on tonight, and to me, I'm like, I prefer to teach people on YouTube. That's what I always want, at least out of it. So my thought is the fact that if I could teach someone, that's the greatest thing of all. God, it's come out wrong. I'm not really a shower, so I try to do pickups once in a while, but not that much. So
Yeah.
Harold Baines is not equal. And the Hall of Famers, he is. I agree with you, though. That's a whole separate issue. So I did grab a few things. Probably
At least
too many.
Baines was a nice guy. right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What do you got? What do you want to show?
I
And then we'll
have.
talk
First, I
about.
want to show this. This is you. This is me, your favorite Hall of Famer from the
Hang on.
1994 National.
94. I'm going to put you on solo.
Oh,
Look at that.
yes. This is me in all my glory there.
Oh,
So
uh,
that's Yaz when he
I
was
was
still
going to say
doing.
that's yes.
That is Yaz. 'Cause I know you're a big Yaz guy.
I am. But
So
who are you
yeah,
talking to? You look like you're not talking to Yaz, though.
I don't know what I was doing. This is before smartphones. My dad took the picture. It was a bad picture. And my favorite story. This is one of the stories I've learned that I've kept up. I have until recently. I have met every living Hall of Famer. I have flown around the country to get the autograph in person. The experience to me is very important. I just did a video today. I dropped a video about paying extra money. No, I don't have George Davis. I've only seen George Davis come up one time since I've started collecting. And so I would travel around the country. I was at the 94 National. Mantle was there, and he hadn't done a show in such a long time. And he came back from his surgery. He did one show, his upper deck. He wanted twice as much as he has, $80. There was no line. Yeah, when you charge $40 and everyone complained, that's exactly what he charged. And so, anyways, long story short is I didn't get Mantle, and he died less than a year later. And I said, never again will I not get an autograph in person because of the cost. So I have dropped a pretty penny for that. So, and I also grabbed, again, this is the lesser ones. I think I've showed this once before. So I took a tour of Fenway Park, and one of the backs
That's
of the
where it
seats
was.
just
Yeah.
fell off. It was like on the ground in November. So I picked it up. I like slid it into my pocket like this. And I walked out like this. And then with one of Dick Gordon's private signings, I did have Yaz sign this. So that's in terms of more modern autographs. I could show you some of the vintage ones. I'm a real big, I enjoy collecting the unique pieces, stuff you don't see every day. And we could talk about this later. I don't know how much time I'm limited to. But when I go out, I look for stuff that you're like not going to see every day. This is just one example right here. So everyone has a Connie Mack autograph. I don't know how many people have a Cornelius McKilligutty autograph. So I'm just now looking for the weird, the obscure, and stuff like that. I know I just showed, if you watch my video, I just picked up this guy. I never heard of this guy before. Max
Yeah, I saw your video. I had never heard of him either.
Max Carnarius, Baseball Hall of Famer Max Carnarius. I never heard of this guy. Turns out it's Max Carey, which I think
Right.
most Hall of Famer collectors know about. So
Yeah, Max Carey and Connie Mack. You've heard of
yes,
them, but a lot of
yes,
people
you've
aren't
heard of
aware
them.
of.
So a couple other more obscure things. Again, this is stuff I just look for. And again, these are not necessarily valuable. This is Goose Goslin. This is Leon A. Goslin. Again, it's just not one that he just didn't sign that stuff. And we could talk a little bit about the autograph trends. I'm trying to think. If you want more rare stuff, I've pulled out a few rare things. Frank, not everyone has a Connie Mack autograph.
I don't.
Yeah, so I mean they're out there. It's definitely unique. Thank you. I was gonna put a lion, so I figured that'd be cliche. You talk about if you're Chicago, Tinkers to Evers to Chance. They're all fairly rare autographs. So like here's the Tinker sign letter, and this is a person that wrote to Tinker on letterhead. You can see right there asking like, how do I get autographs of Tinker to Evers and Chance? And he wrote him back basically saying, listen, Evers lives in Buffalo or Albany, and Chance is dead. And what's kind of cool is a couple years later, I picked up the corresponding letter that the same collector wrote to Evers saying, I want to meet Chance and Tinker as autograph. And again, it's very similar. Tinker lives in Orlando, Florida. Chance is dead now. And we'll talk about this in a second. This is much more rare. This is a Frank Chance autograph.
Yeah.
And there can't be more than 10 of these. And I talk a lot. I would say half of those were stolen from the Hall of Fame. If you go on the PSA database, this is the autograph that they feature. What I love about it is you can see that right there is the letterhead. It's like a little cub right there. It says FLC with his initials. And I would say not as nice autograph, sold recently for a lot of money out of REA. And when you get down to so little, so few autographs that I need, and this sort of goes to what I talk about in my videos, is I can't afford really any more of the last 50. There are probably all 5 figures plus. So
Why don't you sell some to Topps so they can cut them up and put them into cut cards?
Believe me, I talked to, we know Jake, Legends Never Die. He cuts and he drives me crazy when he cuts like that. But part of me says if I sell the collection, which I'm actually pondering doing this year,
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. I mean, what can I do? I can't control it once out of my hands. I
Well, I
will
wanna
take a
s-
discount for
I
that.
do want to talk about that, but I have some questions in here that I
Sure.
want to get answered before they get
Sure, let's
buried.
go. And I have cut an autograph once in my life, and I have that with me.
Okay. Okay. Curator of Cardboard asks, great question. Do you
Yeah.
wait for them to get into the Hall of Fame, or do you land them assuming a player will get in?
Great question. I pulled one of those aside. Hold on here. I thought I pulled it. Maybe I didn't. Here we go. So I had a chance a while back to pick this autograph up. This is Vic Harris. So anyone who follows the Hall of Fame, what's going on now, he knows the Veterans Committee. Vic Harris, I thought he was a lock. And I did videos. Everyone thought he was a lock. There can't be more than 20 Vic Harris autographs out there. I had a chance to buy this 5 years ago. So, I mean, it's not much as a secret now as it was then. But the short answer is yes. I prospect now more than anything. Someone I know taught me to do that. And unfortunately, it's much tougher to get in now. I think the door is closed with a lot of the old time players, with the exception, even maybe the Negro Leaguers now. But yeah, I have a lot of autographs. The Bill Dowlins, the Jack Glasscocks, the AJ Reaches of the world, who may never get in the Hall of Fame, but even their prices have gone up significantly in the last 3 to 4 years. I think the younger people that have the money now, they're like, okay, I have all the living Hall of Famers. I'm going to try and opt for the deceased Hall of Famers also. So I think that's pushing up prices across the board. King Kelly, I've seen one since I started collecting that I thought it was good. You can watch my autograph analysis. I talk all about King Kelly. There's a second portrait out there. It's a very famous story that someone discovered it from like an Elks Lodge. I heard rumblings inside the autograph circle that the autograph may not be good, but I think it's good, and that sold for 180,000 last time it sold.
Is that all?
That's it. This is what I can't afford.
Yeah.
In the past, I've heard of autograph. Good examples are checks. Lately, there's many. Life sign. Any thought? My thought about that is, I always tell people, buy the autograph. Don't buy the TPA, the letter. I'm very careful when I buy an autograph if I like the autograph. I've seen good autographs fail TPAs. Unfortunately, even worse, I did this videotape with Lajoie. I've seen a lot of bad autographs pass the TPAs. I've actually been fortunate to talk to Steve Grad about this stuff like that, and he's very receptive to this, but others not so much. I've seen kids sticker $1,000 autographs, boom, 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 right in front of me behind the scenes. So I'm very weary about talk about checks there. Yeah, if you study the history of the autograph, you know who signed what, and there are signed signatures out there. But I feel more comfortable with checks. Here's a rare check you don't see very often. Hack Wilson. This is a full name, Lewis Wilson. There's probably maybe 20 of these, and a lot of these are like not really good. Cancellations, faded. The perforation goes through the name. So again, this is one of those that you just don't see very often. And unfortunately, when I started collecting, like 10, 15 years ago, the dealers will work with you. So I knew the dealer very well. He's like, I didn't have the money at the time. I don't make millions of dollars. And I'm like, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you X amount every single month till we get it paid off. And I had a great relationship. The Frank Chance, that one, my Alex Pompey autograph, they're all from the same dealer who was really great to work with. And the problem now is everything is going to auction houses. We go to the National, it's the same old stuff, just trying to get rid of their inventory. There's no new vintage autograph dealers coming into the market, which is sad for people like myself.
Yeah. Very important question from Greg.
Yeah.
Can he write off his cell phone?
Yes, if you're using it for business. And it's funny you say that. I did a lot during 2020, during the boom. I did a lot of tax videos with like chasing cardboard and all that. And I'll put up my email, or maybe I can give it to Mike. I'm happy to answer any general tax questions for free about this stuff. I know a lot of people don't know the card industry, and it is a business for most people. And I'm happy to help fellow collectors. My thought about that question is, if I sell this year, I would buy it now for insane prices, because people have insane money. And if I can get it, great. And if not, I'll probably go to an auction house. A couple auction houses have reached out to me. So I'll see what kind of best deal I can negotiate. I'm not a charity. I'm not a 501c3.
So you'd sell the whole thing through an auction house all at once?
Not necessarily. I don't want to sell it all at once because of the fact that there's a limited amount of funds out there. I want people to replenish their funds so they can afford to buy more from me at the top dollar price. I mean, I'm not going to say, oh, I want the next generation to get it. I'm all what's a philanthropic. I just, it would be because I just about money. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
So,
no, I appreciate that. I'm the
yeah,
same way. So you sell.
yeah.
Do you lose the passion or do you start collecting again?
I have the passion for in person. I love the chase. I love getting in person autographs. I wouldn't sell any of my modern autographs that I got in person because, like, I'll show you an example right here.
Who did you
I
and your
took
daughter
this.
get? I saw.
Yeah, this is a really early Bryce Harper autograph.
Oh
It
yeah.
doesn't sound like that anymore. I flew to Greensboro, North Carolina, when he was with Hagerstown to get that autograph.
Wow.
I would never sell that autograph. I had the memory and everything like that. Whereas, and most of you guys probably like. I'm just going to grab a random autograph. This is Miller Huggins, and this is a full name Miller Huggins, quite rare autograph, manager of the 1927 Yankees, signed stock certificate. I don't have a memory of getting him in person. I didn't get him. Obviously, I did not get him in person. So there's no emotional connection to the Miller Huggins like there is to the Bryce Harper. So because of that, it's easier for me to let go. I mean, the worst thing is like the stuff that's framed already would be tougher. I can't imagine walking down to a bare wall. That would make me sad.
Yeah.
I've never seen a Radburn. I've seen one at the Hall of Fame. I've never seen one in the public hands that have been sold. I don't know of one either. Well, okay, I'm going to answer that. This is the problem with the autograph authentication in terms of, well, the card grades, they know it's real or not. What I hate is they grade the autographs 1 through 10 PSA. And I've seen some PSA 10 autographs that have faded to ones.
Hmm.
And that's what I say about like the autograph. Like once it's deemed real, it's never fake again. It's once it's authenticated, it's never unauthenticated. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of bad autographs that have been encapsulated. And once it's encapsulated, it's got to be real. I've never seen a fake 86. Maybe you've seen a fake card get into a real encapsulation. Like
Oh yeah.
real. You have?
Fake card?
Like a bad 86 Jordan gets slabbed as real. I don't know if you have. I don't
Oh
follow
yeah.
cards much anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot, especially with PSA.
Oh, never mind then. Okay, well that happens with the autographs also. And again, an autograph 10, I think once a card is a 10, it stays a 10. It's very tough for it once it's slabbed, I would assume. So maybe it could fade because it's in light and that would affect the grade. But it was my parents. So yeah, and again, that's true. I've seen a lot of real autographs, especially now as the players are signing. It's so rushed, it's so chaotic. I don't know if we were going to talk about like in person versus sit down. So, who do we collect insurance? That is no question. Collect insurance.
Yeah.
And I have a very high. I have a high end security system also in my house. So
That's smart. I just got collector's insurance, and it
yeah,
gives me that peace of mind. I don't buy the the travel add-on and the dealer add-on. I don't need all that stuff. So I don't pay. I don't remember how much I pay per month, but it's not very much.
yeah. And to be honest, it's not the theft as much as a fire that scares me because like that's what really concerning to me is a fire. That's So it's all paper. So, but it's like I'm still chasing. The problem now is like this is just a recent autograph I grabbed, and this I did not get in person. This is a and I kind of lose. I get sad that I can't get this anymore. This is I just showed this off. This is a full Paul Skeens autograph.
Oh yeah.
And that was from the first signing. I paid $150 for it. Literally, the same autograph just sold for $700. And he's doing another signing coming up. He's done signing this autograph. He won't sign it anymore. And so it kind of makes me sad that like the players. I mean, the water to get an autograph now. The prices have gotten so high. So, and like I got all these great autographs growing up. I think the most I ever paid for an autograph was $200. And that may have been Ripken at this last national for an in-person autograph. So I just like Freddie Freeman wants $500 now. It's insane.
You did a video today on Sandy Koufax.
Yes.
What do you think about his prices?
Good. Congrats. You know what? He deserves it. You know what? He's signing 25 autographs.
Yep.
He hasn't done a show since '97. And I said this in the video. If you're just looking to get a single side Koufax baseball, no way would I pay that tier 1 price. But if you're looking for a project piece to complete, you don't have a choice.
Yep.
It's supply and demand. The supply is so limited. The demand is greater than ever. He's 89 years old. Wait till he passes away. I mean, you're going to see even a bigger spike than you did for Mays or Henderson, because Mays and Henderson's were doing show. I remember Mays' last show I was at in 2013 in Chicago. I don't know. Henderson was doing shows recently. He was just in Detroit. So you haven't seen Koufax at a show since '97. But again, I saw someone pull him in October at Dodger Stadium. So if you can get to Koufax, he will sign. He's not an ass about it. But the problem is getting to him. He's so aloof.
Yeah. I'm sure you've seen the story, but my very first video on YouTube was I bought a 56 Topps Koufax, second year, autographed for under $20 at a card show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it real?
It is real. I sent it to PSA. Wow. PSA says it's real anyway.
Yes.
I have.
You still have it?
I do.
Good.
Yeah. 3.5 years ago, I bought it, and 3.5 years ago. Love it. It's one of the top 3 items in my collection.
It's easily a 4-figure card right now. Easily.
Yeah. Yeah. The Topps card is in pretty poor condition, so I figured
Doesn't matter.
4 figures.
Doesn't matter.
I'm trying to find. There was another question somebody asked. Oh, this is it right here. Carlos. What color autographs are best to get? I think it depends on the card or the item, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my go-to is a blue Sharpie always. There's the pens are not working well with the new Manfred baseballs. They're starting to bleed a little. There's a new pen now that I use. I'd have to run it. It's in a drawer. I bought a special thing of pens. Again, the guy who frames all my stuff, he's a genius when it comes to autographs. And he's like, this is the new pen you have to use. So that's my go-to pen now. And I noticed when I was at the National, TriStar was using the same pen for everyone to sign baseballs. But I've seen some like beautiful paint pens and like again, pens on the surface. It's really nice. But like what I noticed is now the new trend is unique pieces. People want a one-on-one, even if it's so like Johnny Bench. Or I'm picking someone to let's say even Ricky Henderson. There's got to be tens of thousands of single sign baseballs that are not unique. What I see people doing now, and this the newest trend I see is people want something really unique that no one else has, like my Paul Davis Skeens ball. And I see the promoters are catching on very quickly, and that's why these prices are going up, and that's why the Koufax prices are so insane because they know people are trying to get their one-on-ones completed while he's still alive. And I'm surprised if my guess is the Koufax signing may already be sold out.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. 25 people.
Yeah.
So Steve Pizzo from Maine,
like
me. What items do you prefer to get autos on?
Pens, modern players, baseballs for sure. I buy baseballs by the dozen now. One of my favorite things to do is to go to minor league games. I call it prospecting, like the Bryce Harper I showed you. Yeah. I'll get lucky once in a while. For every Bryce Harper, you're going to strike out with like a Wander Franco, although Wander Franco was no. So I hit Wander Franco hard when he was like in the minor leagues. So in terms of vintage, I love stuff that's certified, dated. Like I said, I showed you a couple pieces. I'll show you this real quickly. This is the only piece I've ever cut in my life. This is Bill Foster. This is Rube Foster's stepbrother, and or half brother, excuse me. And me and 2 other collectors bought the family's personal Bible, and there were 3 autographs in there.
Wow.
And so it wasn't easy, but like we got to cut this. So what are we gonna do with 3 autos? 3.5. Really, his son, his name was William F. Foster. I know Bill V, Hall of Fame collector, has that one. So, oh yeah, correct. That's true. That's true. I'm seeing. Of course, that's. He's probably signing 100 for them, but like, there's only 25 send-ins, so those spots are going to be filled in quickly. I'm sure that's the case.
So, you've got 298 Hall of Famers autographed out of was it 348?
348, yes.
And there's no hope to even get to 300.
Well, I'll get to 300 with the new election.
Sure, that's true. Because we have. When is that announced? Next week?
No, I think 3 weeks. I don't know. It's this month for sure.
That's true. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about the fact that they'd be adding more this month.
Yeah, I mean, to your question though, about adding more, probably the biggest name the biggest name I need and most common is Christy Mathewson. So I do not have a Willie Keeler. I'll get to that Willie Keeler in a second. The most common name I need is Christy Mathewson. The cheapest name I need probably is Henry Chadwick. Someone probably most of you don't even heard of. He's never played a baseball game in his life. And but it's not only just a matter of money. These autographs don't come up very often. I mean, if you would have told me 10 years ago I'd flip through an entire REA auction catalog and say, oh, have. I would have said, no way, that's impossible. So I've been very fortunate that I got in when the getting was good. I don't want to show you everything today, Mike. I want you to have me back on one day. So I took out small business loans at a time to pay for some rare autographs that I knew that I would never see again. So, like, people ask me my most valuable autograph or rarest autograph, and I throw out a name like Sam Thompson. They go, "Who's that?" Which is common. I get it. I get it. So, it's a matter of my money ebbs and flows like everybody else's. So it's a matter of me having money, the auction going on, and it's just I don't plan on adding any more. I think it's done. Willie Keeler, I'll go back to the last question. I've never seen one offer for. I've seen one. The guy who had the Frank Chance had a Willie Keeler. He wanted 28,000 for it. It was a beautiful. It's the example on PSA's database. It was from the Temple Cup. It's the only known autograph known to exist in public. It was sold by Huggins and Scott. I forgot for how much. Again, I just didn't have the money. I was like very excited to be able to get the Frank Chance. What was it? Amos Russi. Amos Russi, you need to be careful. He has a very plain autograph. We're not there yet. A lot of forgeries with Amos Russi. Green Diamond was a beautiful, probably the largest private baseball hall autograph museum in the world. They had a beautiful Amos Russi that Jim Stinson discovered. And I had a choice of getting a Joe Kelly and a Miller Huggins or the Amos Russi. I couldn't afford them all. I went with the Kelly and the Huggins. I thought two was better than one. And I haven't seen an Amos Russi that I felt comfortable since, except for a letter, again, that went for like $20,000.
Wow.
So,
all right. We've got about 5 minutes. Tony has joined. I'm my third guest. Do 5 more minutes. I've got a couple of really good questions here. Have you ventured into any other historical figures outside of baseball?
I dabbled in presidents for a while. I have other just random people. If like celebrities come through town, I'll get them. But it's Steve Gray told me, listen, Frank, you need to focus on one thing and one thing only if you really want to have a great collection. I'll never forget that advice. He gave me that advice and other advices. Frank, as much as you think you do, you don't have a limited wall space. So those are the two things I've always kept in mind. So the only other thing I collect really are Dave Matthews autographs, which is neither here nor there.
Okay. So, would you consider cashing in and buying a Shoeless Joe auto?
Absolutely not. He will never make the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Therefore, he'll never be on my list.
What about Pete Rose?
I have a Pete Rose autograph. I did get in person. I have several Pete Rose autographs. But again, when I got him, yeah, he was banned by then. I don't know. I just thought he would get in. I saw him play and everything. So, yeah, I have Pete Rose, but not that.
If you could only keep one Hall of Fame autograph, who would it be?
My son tells me he wants my Babe Ruth autograph. Like, he says, don't. And it's not a rare autograph at all. Babe Ruth is very common. I mean, he's popular, obviously. He's not a rare autograph. They argue he's had more autographs than anyone else ever.
Yeah.
So, but that's like that. I want your Babe Ruth check. So that would be the one I keep.
Do you have an Addie Joss?
So Addie Joss, I know the person that owned the one. So Nap Lajoie, I'll give you the quick story of the Addie Joss autograph. I don't own it. The person, Nap Lajoie, kept an autograph book when he was playing with Addie Joss. And I know the original, not the original, I know it's the person that bought it and that did own it for a short time. He sold it, I want to say, for $35,000, which is like a bargain now. And I don't know who owns it anymore. And it's the only Addie Joss autograph even known to exist. Forget public hands, private hands. The family doesn't even own Addie Joss. And he's from Toledo, which is not that far from here.
You have a Gehrig, right?
Yeah, I have a government postcard of Lou Gehrig. I was very careful. I wanted a government postcard dated. It took me a while to find one that I felt comfortable with, but yes.
Is Mike Schmidt the greatest third baseman ever? Or is it Travis Fryman?
It's not Travis Fryman, I'll tell you that.
Come on.
Ever? I got to think about that. I'll take a rain check on that. So.
Okay. Hall of Fame umps, managers, execs.
Yes.
You do.
If they're in the Hall of Fame, I collect them. If they're in the plaque gallery, doesn't matter how they got in there, what they're in there for. Morgan Bulkeley, the least deserving Hall of Famer of all time. Doug Harvey, obviously, because he's in the Hall of Fame. Milo Hamilton's not. I think, what's his name? Oh my God. I can't think of not Beans Reardon. There's another Hall of Fame. I thought umpire from olden days. I thought would get in, never got in. Now his name escapes me, but I have his autograph. So Chaz, God, someone on the stream help me. Chaz, someone.
Even I have an Al Barlick auto.
Yes, I have several. You can buy his checks for like $5. That's how I like it now, bro. And Al Barlick used to be able to mail to the Hall of Fame. He would send you an autograph for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank, this was amazing. I know it took us 18 months to get this together, but I appreciate you on sharing your wisdom. I'm going to share your channel again. I've already done it once, but I'm going to share it in the comments. I want everybody to go and subscribe. Just go back through some of his old videos, Frank's old videos, especially his room tour, man. It's amazing. Thank you very much.
If anyone has tax questions regarding collecting, like easy ones, not like I get some really crazy ones I have to charge for, but I'm always happy to answer free questions for collectors.
That's very
as
kind.
well.
That's very kind. All right, Frank, getting a lot of thank yous in the comments, people subscribing. I appreciate you coming on.
It's an honor. It's so honor. I can't wait to see you in Chicago. I will be there Wednesday and Thursday for sure.
Yeah, I'll be there. Whatever day the YouTube Hall of Fame, YouTube subscribe, whatever get together, Moynihan get together thing is. I'll be there for that.
It's always been a Thursday. So, Mike, if you're watching this live stream, keep it on Thursday.
Keep it on Thursday, Mike. I agree.
Yes.
All right, Frank. Thank you very much.
Go Lions.
Yeah. Bye. Tony.
What's up, Mike?
Hey, man, you're brand new to YouTube, and you have blown people away. For anybody who doesn't know, first of all, why don't you give a quick introduction while I share your channel?
Well, I'm not from the Northeast. I don't know if you can tell that or not. Giving a little Southern flavor to the YouTube world, but yeah, I started my channel, I guess, going on about 2 months ago, and I never thought I'd do anything like that, but it's just been a fun way to show my collection and enjoy the hobby. Doesn't cost anything, but you know, the biggest thing, and I preach this all the time on my videos, is to find community in your collecting, because that's where the fun is. And there's a whole community of people out there in YouTube land, like yourself, that I was able to meet just on Discord, and we've emailed a few times and stuff like that. But this is the first time we've ever actually spoken. But it's kind of like when you're friends with somebody on Facebook, you feel like you know them, but you've never met them.
Yeah.
So, you know, my first community was Instagram. So I did that for a while, and I still do it. And I love to post my cards and tell those stories behind the players or the sets. So basically what I did was just transition that into my YouTube videos. It's just obviously different because I'm showing them and I'm talking and stuff like that. So, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah. And your collection is, it's all right. I'm going to share another thing here, because
it's all right.
You shared it, and I've seen some of your collection, obviously, but you shared something on Twitter earlier, just today, that I have saved here. Here it is. This is your Jackie run, which is, it's okay.
Well, there's one I've gotten since that picture was taken that's not in there, but it's the Burke Ross Jackie Robinson's. So, that's an older picture, but yeah, it's all right.
And then here's just this guy. I've never heard of him, but Mickey Mantle.
Yep. That's
Mantle
my Mantle run. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's a tough one to take a picture of too, by the way.
Yeah.
So
share your background a little bit. How long have you been collecting?
Well, I saw a video. Can't remember who it was. I watched a lot of the different YouTube guys, but they said as long as you kept your collection and you didn't like get rid of it or whatever, you were a collector even when you weren't collecting. And so I I guess I've collected since 1978. And like I hear people share all the time, I dropped out of the hobby and probably around 19. I graduated high school in 87. When I got in college, it was hit or miss on, I'd buy some packs, but I really never went to, I would go to a card show here and there, but it was with my best friend and his dad. And they were big autograph collectors. And I'd go mainly just to get autographs back when a lot of those greats, golden era greats, were doing the autograph circuits in the late 80s and early 90s. But so fast forward, I guess it's been about 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. I had some vintage stuff from my childhood, but I got into it in a big way and had a midlife crisis and bought a lot of cards. So
So
yeah,
this a lot. Most of this is just in the last 2.5 years.
yeah, a lot of it, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
And you're popular tonight, right? Because you're going to be on 4 Collectors at 9 in an hour.
I am. Yeah. Theo asked me if I could make it, and I'd already told you that I was going to do yours. So I said, yeah, I think I can make both of them work. My wife's over with my son and daughter-in-law right now, holding the grandbaby. So I'm just here by myself. So it's all well. My daughter's here. I told her she couldn't have the bonus room. I had to be up here to do a live stream. She gets a kick out of that.
That's great. We have our first question for you. A lot of very impressed people with just those 2. Favorite pitcher of all time?
Be Nolan Ryan. Yeah, my
Yeah.
son, his name's Nolan. So what's that tell you?
Yeah.
So our daughter, she's 31 now, and Nolan is 29. And when we got pregnant with the first baby, we were trying to think of a name, and there's a family name that's my middle name, Samuel, and it's like 10 generations of Samuels. Yeah, you're supposed to name your firstborn son middle name Samuel, but we had to find a first name. And my wife didn't like Anthony, my name, and she didn't really want to call him Tony Jr. or something. So I'm like, well, what about a baseball name? And she knows how much I love baseball. And at that time, and I guess this would have been late '92, Nolan Ryan was wrapping up his career, and I always loved Nolan Ryan. Like, he's a Southern dude. He's a strong family guy. He's got a lot of, he beat the crap out of Robin Ventura that time. So, he's got all that going for him. And when I was a kid, I just thought he was all that. And so I threw that name out at my wife, and she immediately like, yeah, I love that. That's a strong name. And so our daughter was born. So obviously she wasn't Nolan. And then when Nolan was born in '95, he was Nolan. So that kind of answers that question in a long-winded way.
Mookie gave you a fun little nickname for the night, Two Show Tony.
Mookie's always giving me nicknames. Sometimes I'm Tennessee Tony.
Oh.
Mookie's a good dude. I love Mookie.
So Nolan Ryan, I remember I didn't watch the game when he beat up Robin Ventura, but I distinctly remember watching SportsCenter the next morning, or maybe it was Baseball Tonight, and they counted how many times he punched Ventura, which was was fairly unique at the time on television, sports TV, of how many times they would count it, and they had a graphic up on the TV. I don't remember if it was like Dan Patrick and I don't remember, but I love it.
Oberman or
Keith Olbermann,
Keith Olbermann.
Such a great memory watching that.
Yeah, definitely. So you could see Ventura when he gets plunked, he turns and he starts to run, and you could see his wheels turning. Like, what in the world am I doing? But now he's got to go. Everybody's gonna call him names and make fun of him. So he goes on in there, but he ain't really going in there hard. And Nolan wasn't gonna take any crap from him. So that's what happened.
Talk about the collecting scene in and around you. Mookie is asking this. Seems like you have a thriving hobby.
I don't know really what he's asking there. I mean, I do have I sent him and Greg and I think Mike Petty the other night, we were chatting and on text, and I went to my local card shop, and man, our local card shop here is amazing. They've got vintage, they've got wax. Of course, they got the Pokemon, they got football, they got autographed helmets and autographed jerseys. It's brand new. He was in a smaller location, so I'm not sure if that's what he's talking about, or we have the 2 big Nashville shows, one in the fall and one in the spring. But he may be talking about my best friend Tim. He calls him Tennessee Tim, and Tim. He met me, and me and Tim met Mookie at the National, and Tim's an awesome guy too. He's not on YouTube or anything. I'm gonna pull him on as a guest sometime and make him talk. But yeah. Tim's a great dude.
Nice. Jason says Robin didn't want to charge the mound, but he knew he had to. Yeah, that's tough.
He didn't have to. All he had to do was go to first base. And but yeah, he started out there, and you can see him like, oh man. But yeah, everybody's gonna. But you know what? What would you rather just not gone, or gone out there and acted like a fool and had him get you in a headlock and give you noogies and punch you in the nose about 10 times?
We need more noogies nowadays.
Yeah, that's right. Noogies were good as long as you weren't getting them.
So you have an amazing collection, obviously. What is an item that you haven't been able to get your hands on, whether it's due to scarcity or value, price?
So, I mean, they're not crazy expensive, but I've started a Larry Doby signed card run. So I didn't take the sleeve off. So let me get that off. Well, I don't know if I can. Maybe I'll get this one off. Anyways, I've started a signed Larry Doby run. I really admire him as a person and as a player, and what he stood for, and being second, he's kind of the Buzz Aldrin of Major League Baseball color breakers. And everybody remembers Neil Armstrong, but Buzz Aldrin, he walked on the moon too. So anyways, I'm doing that, and I've been searching for those, and there's some hard ones to get. And one of them is the Leaf card, and that was a short print to begin with. It's expensive just in and of itself, but there's only one graded. I know the guy's got it, and he's not giving it up. He's trying to do a signed Leaf set, and that's important to him. Tough. Yeah, and man, he's got a killer collection. But so yeah, there's a couple of those. So anybody out there watching this, I'm looking for a 52 Bowman, a 52 Burke Ross, and a 56 Topps. If anybody has any of those in the Larry Doby signed cards, let me know. But that's something I know you weren't expecting to hear, but those aren't tens of thousands of dollars, but
they're scarce.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of them, and the Burke Ross, there's only 2, so probably not going to, there's a chance, and you never know when one might come out of the woodwork. I don't know if you saw this on my Instagram, but there was the Heritage auction, and there was this Ted Williams 1940 play ball autographed card, and it's really beautiful. The only problem with that was there's only 10 of these graded by PSA that are signed. There's more of his rookie cards signed by I think more than double. I can't remember exactly, but so anyways, the problem with it was in the Heritage auction, it was still on this piece of paper. This is the back side, and it was stuck on. Somebody had cut it out of their scrapbook, and it was still stuck on the paper. And I'd never dealt with that, but I got this thing for 30% what it would be if it was slabbed.
Wow.
And I don't care about the back. I wish I could read it. I mean, I'd rather have a nice back.
I'm the same way.
I'm not going to soak it or anything, obviously, and ruin the autograph. I'm just going to send it to PSA and get a authentic altered and I will get the autograph graded. So you never know when something's going to come out of the woodwork. I mean, there might be a Doby Leaf sitting in somebody's collection and they put it in an auction house. I mean, it's raw right now.
Got a great question from Keegan. Have you ever TTM'd anybody? And if so, who?
No, I have not. When I was a kid, so if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see I did one called Why Do I Collect? And and I've still got all my old stuff. Like I had this thing called a card locker that I got from Santa Claus one year, and it opens up and it has slots, and I organized it by team, and I had these little folded up papers, and one of the folded up papers in there was where I had looked up, I guess it was in the Beckett or whatever back then. This would have been in the early 80s. I had looked up and found like all the stadium addresses. And I had this dream of mailing off cards to Riverfront Stadium and getting the big red machine guys or whatever. I never did it. But so no, the answer is no. But it was something I always wanted to do, but I have not done that.
You're getting called out by Greg. He says, that's a lie. You did a TTM from Captain Mid.
That is correct. Yeah, Captain Midlife did send me. I told him I wanted a special color. He did it in fuchsia.
Oh,
And I think he numbered it like 1 of 1 or something. Yeah, just have a little fun.
I had one of those card lockers too, and I loved the idea of it, but the little slots, I never knew what to put in each of them. Didn't
So
make
was
holes.
yours blue?
Mine was red.
Okay, mine was blue. And I still have it. I think it's over there somewhere.
Yeah, I wish I did. I should buy one off of eBay.
And in my football collection, I still have it because it's in my original elementary school Evel Knievel lunchbox. So I still have my
Wow.
lunchbox. Yeah, that's really cool.
I saw, who was it that I saw had a big vintage lunchbox collection recently on YouTube? Oh, the big dude. Somebody will tell me he's not the Mountain, but he's just this massive, maybe he was a former wrestler turned actor.
No
And
kidding.
he has this amazing vintage lunchbox collection.
Yeah. Hey, I looked that up on eBay. Those Evel Knievel lunchboxes are expensive, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
The vintage one. Now, I don't have the thermos. I remember the thermos had the rocket on it where he jumped the Snake River. But man, when you were a boy growing up in the 70s, if you weren't jumping ramps and all kinds of stuff and trying to be Evel Knievel, then I'd have to check your man card or your little boy card.
I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 79, and we had we did jumps out in the driveway, of course, but then we
Yeah.
also had the steep hill in the woods behind my friend's house, and we
Yep.
built this massive jump. It took us all day long, and then the first person to go down over it broke his leg when he landed, and that was the
Oh
end.
no, that's terrible. Yeah, we had there was a church next door to our house, and it had a big driveway that went down a hill. And so we would set up a ramp at the bottom of it. So we had a AA minor league team called the Nashville Sounds. They're still here. They're AAA now. And they had batting glove night. And they were the cheapest, crappiest batting gloves. They were Cincinnati Reds because they were a farm team of theirs. It had Reds on it. It didn't even have Velcro. It had like elastic. So I'm riding it. I'm using those like I'm Evel Knievel with my riding gloves. And I hit that ramp. And as soon as I was coming through the air, our neighbor's collie ran underneath me, and I landed on the dog and did some cartoon flips, and I landed on the concrete like that, and I got up and looked, and the batting glove was on my elbow now. My hands had gone through the batting gloves, had blood all over me. But yeah, it was fun times though. I mean, heck, man, if you weren't getting skinned up, you weren't really being a kid.
Yeah. So I just Googled actor with vintage lunchbox collection. It's Dave Bautista. Oh, it doesn't let me go in there, of course. But yeah, this is him with his vintage lunchbox collection.
That's awesome. Yeah. We didn't know we were going to be talking about lunchboxes, did
we? Yeah. So what's your favorite card that you own right now?
Oh, man. It's kind of like choosing favorites when you have kids, you like them for different reasons. They're all special. I mean, the card that like I can't part with ever is, let me find it, is this one. It's a 59 Mantle autographed card. And I talked about this before, but I was 12 years old playing Little League Baseball, and my coach knew I was a big baseball history nut even back then. And loved watching, even Major League games and everything. But he had this card. Of course, it wasn't graded, and he gave it to me. Just gave me the card. Told me he wanted me to have it. And so when I was 14, Mr. Mantle came to Hickory Hollow Mall, which was about 10 minutes from my house, and there was a store, grand opening of a store. This would have been 1984, and I went, and he was sitting behind a folding table in a suit with no bodyguard, and you could get 2 items signed for free. They didn't charge anything because he got an appearance fee, and he signed this and a ball. I still have both. So I had this graded at the National in Cleveland this past summer, and got a 9 on the grade and a 3.5. I'd kept it safe. That's what I'm saying. I had some stuff. I had some errands, but this one, is the one that is priceless to me just because of the memory. Now, as far as my favorite card to look at is this one. That's I keep these in a safe, and a big gun safe, and I don't display them. That's why you don't see stuff behind me. I'm too scared to just put this stuff up and have somebody break in and steal my stuff. Then this one was my childhood Grail card growing up. So, that's one. And then this one is the one. So I could sell the 52 Mantle. I could sell the Cracker Jack. I could replace those. I couldn't. This is the one in my collection that I just can't replace. It's too scarce. There's only 10 of these graded. And there's, I think, 4 different advertisement backs. This is the Boston store. And I love to collect Shoeless Joe Jackson. He's my favorite pre-war guy. He just doesn't have a lot of cards. I think I have 6 of them. I want to try to get the E90-1 American Caramel, his card when he's with the A's. It's that purple background where his lips sometimes are on his nose, and the registration's usually bad on him. But I want to get that one hopefully in 2025. That's one of my targets. So we'll see.
Amazing collection.
Thank you. I take a lot of pride in it, and I don't. Just because you can afford cards doesn't really mean you know about them, And there's a couple of guys that I see on Instagram and they like to fashion themselves at these people that trying to tell people how to collect and what to collect, and they got some massive stuff, but then they start talking about it and they don't even know anything about it, about the player, about the set. And I'm not perfect either, but man, I'm trying to learn as much about the stuff I have before I buy it, and be a student, of collecting. And I hope that comes across on my videos. And I guess the thing, my niche is I love baseball history. And so I connect the baseball history with my cards that I have. Sometimes I like the cards because of history, and other times I like the player because of the card. It kind of goes in hand though.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. Carlos says, collect what you love. And I would also add, collect what you love that you can afford.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm very blessed. I own my own business. Started when I was 24 with 3 people and a $5,000 investment. And God's really blessed me. And over the years, it's grown. And my two of my original employees still work for me 31 years later. My dad was the other one. He passed away. And so yeah, now I've got, I think, close to 70 employees. And so yeah, I'm very blessed, and I do have my kids are out of college now. So I've always taken care of all the people around me, and my wife and my kids. And so yeah, I splurged a little bit, but it's something, I didn't go out. I said this one time, I didn't go out and buy a bass boat, or a Ferrari, and it's not worth as much when you drive it out. These cars, they'll always hold their value. So I can cash out one day.
We have a very interesting comment from Mike Petty that you'll only understand if you've watched Greg's video from yesterday about snorkeling.
Yeah, I
Tony
watched it.
definitely snorkels close to the rocks.
Yep, I've snorkeled, and what he was saying was dead on. So, I also snorkeled through a thing of fish one time in St. John, that island down there, and had a barracuda chase me, and I was like a cartoon character running across the water. It scared me to death. So it had some big old teeth on it. So yeah, I don't know if I like snorkeling a whole lot anymore after that deal, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had another question for you, and I don't remember now what it was. Did you have any other cards you wanted to show?
I mean, I put them all up here with me. I mean, I can. Let's see here. Well, I mean, this guy right here he's the first player, and a lot of people have this card, so it's not anything crazy. But this, he's the first player that was my age. Like, he graduated the same year I graduated in high school. I played college baseball at Belmont University in Nashville, and we had about 5 guys from the Cincinnati area, and they grew up playing with Griffey, and he would come down to Nashville when I was in high school. He played for a team called the Midland Chiefs, and we would play him in high school. And man, you remember LeBron James when he came on the scene and he was on cover of Sports Illustrated, the chosen one, had the ball, and he was like a man child. Well, that was Griffey. And on his team, he had Pete Rose Jr. and Tony Perez Jr. were on that team as well. So we were all like in awe of playing him. And so he hit a home run that bounced into the Cumberland River on one bounce. And my nephew just turned 21. He played junior college baseball. And even at his age, I'm 55 and Ken is too. Even at his age, when they were playing there, it was the legend of Shelby Park that Ken Griffey Jr., of course, now it ain't on a bounce. He hit it in the air in Cumberland River. You'd have to look at it on Google Maps. That'd be about a 700 foot shot. So no, but yeah, so anyways, that's a guy that, I didn't get that card. Like, I wasn't really collecting then. That's when I was in college. And, but man, I watched him and was in awe. I think his rookie year when he made the All-Star team and played at Wrigley Field. And I remember watching that, just thinking, I cannot believe that's the guy I watched, back then. And here he is. Cause I mean, he was a monster, man. So he's probably my most favorite player, that I ever watched in my era play was Griffey.
Yeah, probably me too. He and Pedro Martinez for me.
Yeah,
and I just picked up that Griffey signed at the National 2 years ago.
Yeah, they're not that expensive, but they're really cool.
Yeah.
Have you watched that? There's that movie about what went down at Upper Deck. I can't remember. It's kind of a B level, C level movie.
I've read the book.
And they would print whole sheets of that Griffey.
Yep.
It's crazy, the pop count on that thing.
It is.
So
Orlando wants to know, what is next for your collection?
So I've got I get on a focus thing where I go for player runs. So I've done a Cobb run, I've got the Jackie run, I got the Mantle run, I've got all of Hank Aaron's tops and Bowman. The ones I don't have any of, and I'm embarrassed, is I do have one Wagner, Honus Wagner, but I don't have any Matheson. I don't have any Walter Johnson. So those two are on my list for this year. I want to get at least one of those. And like I said, I've set a goal to get a couple of the Babe Ruth Gaudies this year, and I also want to get a 32 Gaudi Lou Gehrig. I've got both the 34s, but I don't have either one of the 33s. So there's some big ones. So and I'm still working on my Dobie run, and just kind of throw it out there. But that's my next episode, is the Larry Doby episode. So I'm going to talk all about his history, where he grew up, his background, how important he was to, to baseball history, and how he doesn't get his due. And then I'm going to show my cards, and all these signs. I got some that are signed, some that aren't signed. And, but he deserves to be talked about. And I purposely did his episode before Jackie Robinson. So for once, he was going to be first.
Ah, nice.
So, yeah.
Well, we are at 90 minutes here. I want to encourage everybody. I just put the link to your channel in the comments. I want to encourage everybody to go subscribe to Southern Collector. His channel is at Southern Collector
Southern
14.
Collector 14. Yeah.
Great channel, brand new. You have 14 videos you've put out so far.
Yep. So
Impressive
yeah,
start.
I do one a week. I can't do like you do. I don't know how in the world you guys that put 3 and 4 out a week. That's crazy. I don't know how y'all do that. Mine are usually longer, and I put a lot. Not that you don't put thought into yours. I can't do it. Not with what I do with history. Like I told Greg Miller, I said, man, I'm talking about all these players, but at some point I'm going to have the Joe Pepitone episode or something. I'm going to run out of players. So, but I do one a week, and then I'll show my pickups and stuff like that too. So it's a lot of fun. I'm having some fun with it.
Yeah. A couple of people have mentioned meeting you in Strongsville. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I have to go to Strongsville, man.
Man, you got to come, man. I've heard it's awesome. So it's going to be a big get together too.
Yeah. We'll see. Tony, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks, Mike.
Really
It was my pleasure, and I'm honored.
It's great, man. It's great meeting you. Hope to chat again soon.
All right.
We even got Chris from Missouri here.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah.
Chris is going to be on the episode tonight with me.
Yeah, enjoy. Everybody should go over. I don't know if there's another live stream going on right now, but at 9 p.m. Eastern, half hour from now, 4 Collectors is doing a live stream. Everybody should stick around for that. Join that. Be there. Tony will be there saying very different things for sure, so you won't be bored and hearing the same things over again.
Yeah, I'm a pretty boring guy, though. So
no, you're not. You are definitely not.
Right.
Thank you, Tony, and thanks to all the people in the comments. Very appreciated. And we will see you all soon. Stay warm. Talk to you all soon.
All right, see you, Mike.